Welcome to my new show, Character Analysis, where we're looking at characters in different types of media, mostly video games, and see what makes them tick. Today's episode will take a look at Nat Vancey. To start, let's look at the events that Nat went through leading up to Smile for Me. I think the earliest event in Nat's timeline would be her dad missing her dancers. So, this obviously hurt Nat, and hurt her dad back by changing her surname on her 13th birthday, which she justifies by saying it's just a stage name, but really did it to sound more cool, which is probably because of Nat's interest in the performance arts. You see, Nat wants to be an actor. She shows this through her interests and interactions, and when her dad didn't show up for her dance recital, Nat took that as if he didn't support her interests. I think at this point Nat wanted to go somewhere to be away from her dad, so she asked to move to the habitat. Her dad does come anyways, but Nat is away from him and the conformist, so she sees it as still better, even though she said that, I guess the people here, don't really get me either. This seems to imply that Nat just wants to be in the place where she feels like she belongs, and people understand what she wants to do. There's not many events that go by while Nat's at the habitat and before Flower Kid gets there, although Millie says she tried to talk to her but Nat flipped her off, and Trevor asked her if she's a vampire but Nat flipped him off too. Though I did fail to mention that Nat is I think they're called Dompier, which is a mix of vampires and humans. But those seem to be the most important events leading up to Flower Kid's arrival, so let's move to that. Nat greets Flower Kid, probably out of obligation, then asks you to get her some flowers. Once you let Nat sniff the flowers, she's cheered up, saying, "Flowers always cheer me up," meaning that Nat probably had a lot of sad feelings hidden under her uncaring facade, and the familiar smell of flowers, like her dad, snapped her out of it, allowing Nat to leave the habitat happy. But Nat does stay for a little while longer, growing attached to the habitat, leading our last handful of events to transpire. The first major one is when Nat asks you to cheer up her dad, stating that it's your problem, so you should fix it. But this is a problem Nat has to fix herself. The reason Trentzel is unhappy is because he thinks Nat doesn't love him anymore, and Nat has too much pride to tell him that's not true. Even when you use the megaphone to trick her into saying, "I love you, Dad," she tells you that someone might have heard. But upon seeing how happy it made Trentzel when he heard, something changed in her. She didn't stop being bratty or show-star-y, but more open about how she feels, even thanking Flower Kid for helping her dad. Nat's relationship with her dad definitely improved after the habitat, as we see in the epilogue. It's both of them posing together. Not much in the actual epilogue itself, but we do learn why Habit doesn't use spell check in his tweets, which is because Nat told him to turn it off, "You sound like my dad." Which, take that as you will. I'm also reaching a bit here, but I think Nat and Trevor had gotten along better since after the habitat, because Nat's profile picture is her and Trevor, which makes it seem like their attitude towards each other has changed from being one-sided with Nat not really liking Trevor to them at least being friends. And that's the story so far. Until we get more Smile for Me content, this is all we know about Nat. Well, all that I thought was worth mentioning anyways. Although the 2-year anniversary is coming up, so you never know what to expect. I've also seen on the wiki page of Nat that their real name is Wilson, although I don't think that's true because I can't find any evidence of it. Oh, now that I'm thinking about it, it might be from one of the Egg Team streams. They might have said that Nat's real name was Wilson as a joke and someone took that as fact. Although, if you know exactly what it is, you're more than welcome to tell me. But I'll end the video here for now. Who knows, I might make another episode. Might not. Entirely depends, how I feel. How you feel. If no one watches this, I'm probably not going to make another one. But, if this gets a lot of views, and, more than 20. That's a lot of views. And might make another one, might not. This video is only like a couple minutes long, and this is over one of the more complicated characters. Characters like Marv or Guri are gonna last like 2 minutes. I suppose I could do videos on them if I wanted to. Don't see a point, but I could. Well, this is Colin Dimensions, signing off.